What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Leftovers podcast. I'm Charlie,
I'm Joe.
and we have just finished watching the last games of the Premier League season, and it was a kind of a thrilling ending. We had people chasing the Golden Boot in Salah and Kane. We had a fight for the third and fourth places between Leicester, Chelsea, and Liverpool, and it changed throughout the games. But we've got obviously a conclusion at the end, and so Joe, what's your immediate reaction?
We've gotten top four. We've gotten top four. Liverpool. We've gotten top four.
Okay, I think you've made that point very
Bloody
clear.
what? You know what?
Feelings right now.
You know what? We've had a brilliant season. I'll take that. I'll take that with our injuries.
Oh, not
I'll take
brilliant.
third.
You've had.
I'll take third. I'll take third for our injuries. I'll take third. I will happily.
Yeah. You did finish third, yes. So
happily take third place.
right.
Happily.
So Liverpool take third, Chelsea take fourth, and Leicester finish in an
Bottle it once
unfortunate
again.
fifth.
It's
Yeah, on the last
I
game,
do feel sorry for
2 years in a
Leicester.
row.
I do feel sorry for Leicester.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't they bottled it? So
No, I do feel sorry for Leicester because I think they did deserve top four. It's kind of like
yeah, if they
last
wanted it, they
season.
should have gone and get it.
Well, it's not as easy as that, is it?
Well, it is.
Well, it's
That's what
not.
every other team has to do.
Yeah, but then there's like,
There you go. Then that's football.
what are you on about?
It's
Anyway,
football.
anyway,
That's football. That's what they got to do.
But,
And they failed.
let's start
Miserably.
with the better team out of the three, Liverpool, who were actually, to be fair, on a very good run of form. I think we were unbeaten
Yeah.
in like our last
like
10
your
matches. So
Yeah.
and we won 8 of
They're
them.
on about last 9 games or
We
something.
won
yeah.
8 of them. So
It's
we're
like ever
on
since
very
you put
good run.
Fabinho back in the midfield, you've been
Yeah,
like, incredible.
Isn't it great when we actually put players in our actual positions? Isn't it amazing what
Yeah.
happens?
I see Henson warming up on the bench, never came on though, but
No, but I
back,
think that's fair enough. I think
obviously
that's
back for
fair
the
enough.
Euros
Oh yeah, it's good to see him back.
and Grealish now, so
Back
hopefully the English
training and
players
whatnot,
coming
so-
back,
Exactly.
getting ready for the big tourney. But
But yeah,
yeah,
Liverpool.
let's get the scores.
Yeah, so Liverpool won 2-0. They knew that a win would guarantee them top four, and they did just that.
Yeah.
Mane getting both of them as well. He loves scoring against Crystal Palace, Mane. I think that's like 10 goals in his last 7 appearances. Let me just double check. But he loves
Salah was
scoring
the amount of times Mane was trying to like feed off Salah to try and like get
Yeah.
the golden boot.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just like, it's quite. Salah did have opportunities, but he didn't take them. But they weren't like clear cut. Like you would have thought, like a couple of them, he would have done a bit better with them. But it was probably just more of like he wasn't as focused because he's obviously like you're focused, but as in like he just didn't. I need to score, I need to score, I need to score. Rather than it was probably just rushing it or something. But the main target was getting top four, and that's what you got. So.
Exactly.
Even if you won the golden boot, it would have been great. But if you play if you're walking out to your Europa League music, it's kind of like brilliant. But so yes, Liverpool prevailed, third place. Congratulations to them in joining United and City in Champions League football next year.
Up the
Chelsea
Reds.
scraped top four.
Honestly, they got away with it. Let's be real. They got away with it. If it wasn't for Leicester
Yeah.
bottling it against Tottenham, Chelsea would have
yeah.
been fifth because Chelsea lost to Aston Villa 2-1. But yeah, like you said, still scraped
3-0
top
down.
four.
They got a goal back. I mean,
Red
former
card for
player Traore scored against
Azpilicueta. Traore, their former player, scored against them. They gave a red penalty. I think Mendy had to get a substitute to their goalkeeper for Kepa. So
would have been
yeah,
mad if Chelsea finished outside the top four of the season, but then could still win the Champions League.
that's why I'm kind of a bit gutted for Leicester because if they got a top four, it's fine because Chelsea still have a chance. But
It's the other way around. So Leicester's just
Leicester,
okay.
Leicester
well,
can't.
on to
Yeah,
next
Leicester
season.
can't do it. Leicester can't do it, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But they just got to keep at it because I think they're a great side. They're like one of the best run clubs in the country, like hands
Yeah,
down.
they're like a proper fan club, but
Exactly.
they've actually got owners who actually care about their club. But
Exactly.
obviously Spurs prevailed 3-2. Kane
4-2.
Won. Yeah, 4-2 in the end because Bale scored in the
Bale scored
96th minute or something.
he scored.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
90
yeah.
of the game, pretty much.
Yeah, I refreshed the scores and I saw because I was looking through, so
Yeah.
I just refreshed it, went on in it, and then it said, "Oh, Bale scored." I was like, "Okay, brilliant."
Yeah.
So, Kane goal and assist. He has won the Golden Boot. Congratulations to him on his most likely to be farewell season. I don't think he's handed in a transfer request, but he's made it very clear he will do.
It's a bit weird. Like he had that interview with Gary Neville, didn't he, the other day?
Yeah,
and he was
on
talking
the
about
overlap.
and it's a bit weird because I feel like
I think he's too polite to be like, I want to just fuck off. Like I think
No, but I
I think
still think I still think he
he's on his knees for Kevin De Bruyne though. You
yeah,
couldn't
well,
stop shutting up about it.
It was like, oh my god, his balls are amazing. Like any striker in the world would want to play
That's
it.
mad.
Right, well, just what you want about, mate. All right, calm the hell down. But yeah, I still think, I think a player of like if that would, for example, I'm gonna put this into context basically. If that was Pogba, it would be a completely different story. I'm just like, if it was a player like Pogba, it would be completely different. Everyone would be slating him, being like, how can you say that, etc., etc. Because it's Kane, it's like, yeah, he's whatever. But if that was Pogba, everyone would be like,
Whatever since he was a kid. And obviously he's had loan spells to try and break in, and then obviously he had that his debut, he did really well, and then obviously he's been playing for their first team ever since under Poch and Mourinho and that, and he's now got another golden boot to his name.
and trophy whoever win.
Exactly. So you can tell he's just pissed now because he's just like, I'm at 27 now. I'm turning 28 this year or something, and he's needs Champions League football. The player is his caliber, one of if not arguably the best striker in the world. Obviously, he just needs to be up there, competing against the likes of Lewandowski and Suarez and Haaland and Mbappe. He needs to be competing against these strikers in the Champions League and not walking out to Europa League football, which is completely understandable. And the Spurs fans are basically all admitted. You can read it in
Well,
all
they're
their
not
comments,
even.
all their posts.
Are they in Europa League?
Spurs, they're in the Conference League, aren't they now? It's the European Conference League.
Because they went above.
Yeah,
above
they've
Arsenal,
introduced
didn't
it.
they?
That's why I was trying to. You remember when I told you about it and you didn't realise it was happening? I was like, yeah, it's happening next year, and I had to try and explain to you,
I knew there was a new league coming, but I didn't realise it was next season.
Yeah, they're basically just doing it to try and get all the really crappy teams around Europe to try and play other European teams. But it really is
all the
shit,
crappy teams, and Tottenham are going to be in it.
Terrible for the Premier League.
That's ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous.
But
can I also say as well, quick credit to West Ham as well.
Solid season, very good season.
They only finished 1 point behind Leicester. To be fair to them,
have they given up Manager of the Year yet? They haven't, have they?
No. So would you give it to David Moyes?
I probably would.
I think I would. To be fair, he's done an incredible job to get West Ham.
Yeah, all things considered, it's all good winning the Premier League, but I mean, if you for a manager, if you told me at the start of the season what's more likely to happen, City win the league or West Ham finishing sixth and getting European League football, you would say City finishing, obviously winning the league. So
well, yeah, I think that's a given. I think I think it's more like, would you think Liverpool?
It's just against his competitors, though.
It's like, would you think that Liverpool would just scrape top four, or West Ham would win the Well,
if you're asking me at the start of the season, I would say Liverpool will be challenging or defending the title. But it's just as the season's gone on, you've just seen the fact that David Moyes has done an incredible job, and the fact that he wasn't like Southampton, who literally was up there within the top four,
and then they've just
for a period, and then they just dropped down.
Yeah.
West Ham's always just been hovering in those places, and Everton, they were there, and then they dropped down. So he's just been there and he's done very well, and he made some good signings in Lingard and that. And obviously, I don't know if Lingard's going to stay there. But
I think Lingard may stay there, even if it's just a loan for another year. But I think
Lingard's done good enough to be in the Euro squad now, if I'm honest.
We'll
see though.
Now it's
26 people.
Yeah, but I say it's 26-man squad now, so that will be interesting to see what he does.
Get all the fullbacks in.
Quick thing as well. There are some reports and speculation that Trent won't actually make it.
I saw that.
Do you think Trent has done enough though since when he was?
He should be going to the Euros. That shouldn't have been up for a question. Yes, his defending can be skeptical, but he's a massive reason why Liverpool won the Champions League, won the Premier League. His going. Yes, obviously your primary job as a fullback, as a right back or a left back, is to defend. That is what you're there for.
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean.
It's changed in the modern era. It's changed where yes, it's all good going back and defending, but if you can goals win you games, and if he's putting in balls like that and feeding the likes of Firmino, Salah, and Mane on a weekly basis, week in, week out. But obviously, he hasn't got the assists like he did last season, but you can't expect him to bag 15 assists every season, can you? But that's the standard he's been set now. He's that good at such a young age that he's been put in the Player of the Year and everything. So he is one of the best. Going forward, he is definitely probably the best right back in the world. Yeah, he didn't have a great season, neither did Robertson, but you still like would take them to in any team in the world like easily. Going forward, yeah, obviously he is absolutely amazing. Yeah, he can brush up, and he's not the worst defender in the world. Like Ben Chilwell is like not that great at fucking left back. Defending he's pretty poor, but he can bomb forward and put in some good balls.
Well,
Luke Shaw
he
is kind
scored
of
the
like
goal
you're more
today, didn't
balanced, isn't he?
Chelsea.
Like Luke Shaw can defend, but he isn't the best defender in the world. But he can defend quite well. But going forward, he's obviously picked up his going forward game because he's been told that. Like people were slating Luke Shaw for being a great defender, but shit at going forward. He's kind of changed that now, and I think Trent's trying to do the same thing, trying to work on his defensive game. Yeah, I would take him to Euros, and I'd be very surprised and shocked if he doesn't go to the Euros. But I think he will make it.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think he should go. I think it's a very difficult choice in terms of who starts.
I would accept if I would accept if he doesn't start, but he should
Yeah.
definitely be on the plane.
Yeah, I'm about to say yeah. Like,
I mean,
I'm not
the
saying
games are in England, but I mean, yeah.
yeah. I'm not saying like start. I'm saying like he just deserves to be on the plane to the Euros. Like there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I think ever since he was dropped in that what was it like whenever England announced that squad when he was dropped, his form has picked up. Like against Aston Villa where he scored that winner.
He's probably had some sort of like a reality check where he's like, oh shit, I'm not just going to get into this team. I actually need to perform and work for it. And he's done that now.
And he's shown he can.
He's helped them
do it,
to get third place, and he just deserves it. And
exactly.
if he doesn't go, I'll be very, very appalled.
Exactly.
And if I see England keep putting crap balls into the box, I'll be like, could have had Trent on the end of that.
And that's the thing. And that's another thing. There will be backlash if we do get knocked out early, and it's like we need that creativity or something. People will go, you could have just taken Trent. Even if you played him as a right wing back, or even if you just play him as a midfielder. Like a right mid or something.
If you go like a 4-4-2, or
Play
something, or you go with a Rashford and a Kane up top or something, or Dominic Calvert-Lewin and a Kane up top. If you play against if you play against Scotland, for example, you could do a 4-4-2 easily and play Trent as a right mid.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Like he'll probably start Kyle Walker, won't he, at right back and Luke Shaw at left back. But we'll see what he does because Southgate, not everyone agrees with him, but he's not a decorated manager, is he? But hopefully he brings football home. But we'll see. So with the rest of the games, United basically played their reserves, but they still managed to pull off a win against Nuno's last game.
Yeah, that's a bit surprising. I didn't expect Nuno to
Wolves
be leaving it. That came out of nowhere, really. They haven't had a great season, to be fair, Wolves, but then again, they have been missing their main man up top in Raul Jimenez for the majority of the season. But yeah, that did come as a bit of a surprise, Nuno leaving. I did see somewhere maybe because of they were in disagreements over transfers. But I think that's a load of BS. I think if you're going to be disagreement about transfers, I think Nuno is quite loyal to Wolves, and I don't think he would have left just because of that.
Do you think he's off to Spurs?
No.
Or do you think he's going? Or do you think he's just going to stop for a bit?
I think he's either going to stop for a bit or he may go to Portugal again. I have seen rumours that he may go back to Porto or something. I don't really know.
Or be the Portuguese manager. I don't know. Because that guy's been there for a while.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll leave anytime soon. Maybe it depends on how the Euros go for Portugal, but I doubt that will go.
Portugal have got a very strong team.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they shouldn't. Do you think they could retain it in the Euros?
Oh yeah, I think. Well, there's that like group of death with Germany, Portugal, and France, isn't there?
That's true. Yeah.
I think France and Portugal are the favourites to win it, just because of their squad depth.
Yeah, 100%. I don't see Germany.
Ridiculous.
I don't see Germany getting.
I think Germany will drop out. Have another stinker.
Yeah.
Like they did in the World Cup, but knocked out to South Korea.
But yeah,
so
let's talk about a couple of the. Let's talk about Man City because obviously they hammered Everton.
Yeah,
5-0. Woo.
with a brace.
Can I just point out Everton were close to getting into Europe and now they are 10th, and that means Leeds are now above them, which is hilarious to see. They've got a minus goal difference as well, Everton, but it's fine. They beat us at Anfield. Whatever, we made into third, bitches.
And they missed a penalty.
Yes, thank you for reminding me, Charlie. That's made me a bit happier. But the main thing for the Man City game was, of course, Aguero's final Premier League game. because he could still play in the Champions League.
Mhm.
But final game at Man City, and he capped it off with 2 goals. Which is
Assisted by the veteran Fernandinho.
very nice, very nice. And that also means that Aguero has now surpassed Wayne Rooney in terms of the most goals scored for a single club in the Premier League. I think Rooney was on 183. I think now Aguero is on 184. Well, he that will be it. But he's going to be sorely missed in the Premier League. He's been one of the best strikers that we've ever seen in the Premier League, maybe even in the world as well, on his day. Do you think he'll start in the final for the Champions League?
Pep did say that there's no guarantee, and he would say he'll put the win before Aguero's emotions. But I do think he will at least feature in the game.
I think, yeah, definitely.
His front three, it's tough to say. I think Mahrez has to be in there. He's unplayable at the moment. Sterling, I wouldn't start. I'd probably start Foden on the left.
Yeah.
Mahrez on the right, and then I don't know. He's been playing De Bruyne as a striker as like a false 9.
I'd be playing Aguero. I would be playing Aguero.
I would play Aguero, but I'm just trying to think what Pep would do. But
I
would
think
play Foden, Aguero, Mahrez, and then behind him
agreed.
De Bruyne, and then you've got obviously Bernardo
Fernandinho.
Silva and all that to come on.
Yeah.
Gundogan, Rodri, Fernand.
That's actually disgusting, isn't it? Like, you're gonna have to be like, they've got a front three of Mahrez, Aguero, and Foden. But in case that doesn't work, we've got Sterling, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, etc. Jesus, like that's not fair. It's just not fair, is it? Let's be real here.
That's all money.
Like we've got Origi, they've got Jesus. Let's be real here. All right, let's not be around the bush. No offense to Origi, you've done some brilliant stuff, but we need a good backup striker, don't we? But yeah, he will be sorely missed.
Off to Barcelona, and recent
likely.
news that Lionel Messi has decided to stay at Barcelona.
Do you think that's because of Aguero?
I do think that helped a lot, especially because they're like best mates and stuff. So.
Also, congratulations to Atletico Madrid as well for winning the La Liga.
Yes.
They were 1-0 down, and then Correa and Suarez scored to give them the win and to give them the title.
Suarez showed the middle finger to Barcelona.
Exactly.
So
they disrespected him. They let him go because they thought he was past it.
He was too old and he was done and he was washed up.
He showed them.
I was like, did you see the thing? Who was that player? I forgot his name. It was 2014 when Atletico last won the. It was David Villa, I think it was.
Yeah.
Real Madrid. Was it Real Madrid? Who sold? It was Barcelona, Real Madrid who sold. Oh, my ear's gone. David Villa to Atletico Madrid, and then
Barcelona must have sold Atletico then.
Yeah, Barcelona sold David Villa to Atletico Madrid for $5 million, the same amount that Suarez was sold for to Atletico Madrid, and they both won the league.
Mental. Yeah, they sold him. And he only played that one season, and he won the league with them. Very nice.
That looks like Aguero and Messi will link up. I wonder what's going to happen with Griezmann then, because
he may go. I don't know. It depends because they've got
Dembele,
Ansu Fati's upcoming.
What about Coutinho? Is he going?
Well, he's more of a midfield anyway. So if he was to stay, he'll play midfield. I'd say more. But yeah, he probably may go.
Dion.
Everton have been linked with him, which is absolutely not going to happen.
You never know in modern football, but I mean,
Everton aren't even in Europe, mate. It's not happening.
I haven't got the funds.
And also, he said he loves Liverpool and he would never go to a rival anyway, so he won't go. He won't go to Everton. He knows that. But yeah, we've also got the Championship player final as well. Brentford against Swansea. To decide who's going to be the final team to come up. Because obviously Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield United are going down. We've had Norwich and... You need to help me here, Charlie. I can't remember who the other team
are. What, Brentford or...?
No, the other team too are going up. Wait a minute. Watford!
Oh, yeah.
They're coming back up straight away. We all knew that. But yeah, Brentford against Swansea in the final of the playoffs. Who do you think is gonna go to the Premier League, Charlie? Brentford or Swansea? Who's your money on?
I want Brentford too because I love Ivan Toney.
Same here. I want Brentford to go up top, and I think if Brentford do go to the Premier League, I think they also have a chance to keep Tony as well.
And I think but I also think someone will try and buy Tony in the summer.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If they lose to Swansea, I think he's definitely up to that. I think either way, he's playing in the Premier League next season.
Yeah, 100%.
And he's English, and I can't wait to see him play for England because he's a top striker.
Who do you think he'll sign for? Who do you think needs him the most?
I don't know because I don't want him to sign for some like team in the Premier League that is just standard there every year but never wins anything, like a crappy Newcastle or something.
West Ham.
I don't know. I don't think a big six would sign him.
Okay, well then it can't be West Ham. It can't be West Ham because they're in the top six.
No, as in I said the big six.
Tottenham.
Tottenham
because they need a new striker if Kane's going to go.
Yeah, I mean they had that when they signed that Garver guy, didn't they? But I mean he's still alone, but his option to buy him, I think they will buy him.
No, they won't. I'm pretty sure there's reports saying that they won't sign him.
They're not going to.
No.
I thought they said it's pretty much going to happen.
Because what? Because he celebrated scoring a hat-trick against that bloody lower league
but
team.
they always know.
He scored the goal. He scored the goal, and he did that bloody celebration as if he won the bloody final of the Champions League. It was hilarious.
Oh, I just thought I saw things like they were going to sign him regardless of the season or something. I don't know.
No.
Yes, they will need a new striker, and maybe they will go for Ivan Toney. But we'll see. It's good to see England's got a lot of depth now in terms of the forwards and stuff.
Do you think he could go to the Euros?
No, he won't go to the Euros.
I guess there's too many strikers in the Premier League as well, aren't there?
Yeah.
You got Kane, you got Calvert-Lewin, you got Bamford,
Danny Ings,
Ollie Watkins, yeah, he would make it.
Callum Wilson, and then you also got Tammy Abraham.
He won't make it just because he hasn't been playing enough. Not saying he's good, just because he just hasn't been playing.
He'll probably take 6 when he 2 for the left, 2 for the right, and 2 up front.
Yeah.
It depends though. Jack Grealish, he usually counts him as a forward, but he's a midfielder. Same with Foden.
He probably will count as you could count him as a midfielder and then get away with that because then that gives you an extra option up front.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I want us to play 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, but it's whatever Southgate does. He'll probably go far with the back of the pussy, but we'll see.
Okay.
Another thing, also, I was just going to say, also happening today is whether Juve can get Champions League football or not, because this could be a big decision.
Yes.
Because if they don't get Champions League football,
that's going to be
Ronaldo is definitely gone in summer.
Yes, and also, it's not as big, but Ligue 1 title is still in the balance as well. But yeah, no, you are right. It is Juve's.
So Atalanta against AC Milan is a huge game, and Juve are relying on
Napoli should win because it's Napoli because it's Hellas Verona.
Hellas Verona just shit. Yeah,
Bologna against Juve. Oh, it's going to be
Napoli. We assume Napoli are going to win. We assume Juve are going to beat Bologna.
Let me have a look at the table now. So we have got Milan and Napoli on the same amount of points for 76. Juve are 1 point behind with 75. If AC Milan lose and Juventus win, then they'll go down to the bottom.
Basically, we assume that Napoli are going to win. But
let's assume Napoli will win. They'll get 79.
Assume Napoli win and assume Juve are going to win because they have to.
That's 78. So basically, AC Milan need to beat.
No, Atalanta need to beat AC Milan.
Yeah, no, it's in order for Juve not to get Champions League, AC Milan need to beat Atalanta.
If Juve want to get Champions League, they just need Atalanta.
They need to hope Atalanta get them.
Win.
Well, if they get a draw, even if Atalanta get a draw and Juve win, they'll still go above them.
Yeah,
by 1 point. But, so as long as Atalanta don't lose, Juve have a chance. Basically, that's what it is.
And even if AC Milan beat them, obviously they
won't go.
How would it work though? Because goal difference isn't a thing in foreign leagues.
Is it not?
No, they don't use goal difference.
Napoli.
Positions.
Oh yeah, they don't, because Napoli have got a goal difference of 45. AC Milan have got a goal difference of 31.
Yeah, I think it's done on if you're against a team, say Juve jump Napoli. I think it's based on the games they have between each other. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, you're maybe.
If AC Milan beat Atalanta and Juve win, then Atalanta and Juve will both be on 78 points.
Yeah,
And then I
because
think it,
Milan won both their games, I think.
yeah,
Oh no, no.
and I think it'll then, I think it then goes on. Whoever won the games between Juve and Atalanta, who had like over across the two games, like
AC Milan.
it's weird. I need to look it up, but
But yeah,
um, yeah,
very
I think
interesting.
either way, I if they do get Champions League football, obviously Ronaldo knows he's not going to win the Champions League with that shite team. So, and especially with a clueless manager who literally obviously has no experience in
Where do you think
football.
he'll go though if he does decide to leave?
His only options are Paris Saint-Germain or United if he wants. Like who's like there was all this crap coming out saying he left it. His cars are all back in Spain and he's back to Real Madrid. But Real Madrid literally came out and said we're not buying him. Like if anything, we're going for Mbappe, and that's why we're selling like 7 players this summer. But
Well, we're gonna get Mbappe because now we've made top four.
if Kane,
Come on.
because if Kane's off to City, I expect that to happen very very soon now. I expect that to get announced in the next 3 weeks before the Euros.
No, I think it'll be after.
Man
I think it'll be
United,
after the Euros.
well, Kane wants it done before the Euros, so he can just focus on the Euros.
Oh really? Yeah.
But yeah,
I
but
thought
well, we'll see how it plays
I
out.
thought he's gonna be like, I'm just gonna focus on the Euros now, sort it out afterwards. I thought that would be it.
Well, we'll see.
Kane,
But then,
Kane must not like Tottenham now.
I think Ronaldo generally would have gone back to Man United if Man United didn't sign, if Cavani didn't sign the dotted line for another year. But because they have, and they've promised Cavani game time, and Ronaldo should be playing like week in week out because he will be going for the things like the Golden Boot and obviously everything like that because that's who he is and that's why he wants to play still at the top level for the age he is. But I think you could you play Cavani and Ronaldo in a 4-4-2? But it's just not how Man United play at all. Or could you generally just switch between the two and get Ronaldo to play all like the? Because even Ronaldo now, he's still Golden Boot and he hasn't even played all the games of the season. He's still missed about 6 games.
If you do 4-4-2, you have the same back four. So you could have Rashford on the left mid, Greenwood on the right, and then Pogba and Bruno in the midfield.
Yeah, but Bruno's literally a number 10. You wouldn't. That's not how number 10 works.
Or would you just play him more forward then?
I would stick to a 4-2-3-1 and literally play Ronaldo up top, or slightly change the formation, go for a 4-3-3 and play and do left forward striker right forward and play Ronaldo as a left forward.
No, but then if you go 4-3-3, then that's pretty much the same as 4-4-2 in terms of Bruno Fernandes as well. Bruno will have to be
it's just
so
Ronaldo's basically a left forward now. He's not a striker and he's not a left. He's a striker, but he drifts left. So.
Yeah, but I think that's because he's just used to playing left wing as well.
Yeah, yes, obviously that, but obviously getting older, he's not as mobile. So, I would go 4-3-3. I'll play Bruno. Bruno would have to be a centre attacking midfielder, but he'll come a little bit deeper than he is at the moment, but he'll still be the attacking midfielder, and then he'll just have Pogba and a defensive midfielder behind him. And then, so Pog will be the holding one, and then the CDM would be, whoever it is. If they sign a new one, it would be Fred, McTominay, Matic, or whoever they have. I think Matic is going in the summer, but that, and then you'd have Ronaldo as a left forward, Cavani as a striker, and then your right would be Greenwood, and then you've got, I think they want to sell Martial this summer, and then you've got Greenwood, you're on the right, and then you've got Ahmad coming through, the kid, Amad Diallo, and then you've got Rashford as well can come on. So, and obviously you look at City as well, like, they've got incredible players that could easily, like, they don't really fight on front three. Like Aguero, like Gabriel Jesus knows that Aguero would be picked over him any day of the week, but he's also happy with that because he still occasionally gets the goals and the assists, and he seems happy at City. And obviously now he knows he's 23, 24, and he knows that he's going to become the main man for them now. Well, if they'll sign Kane, but he's like, he will play a lot more now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Man United, they could go for Ronaldo, but he's 31 million a year, and they're looking for the future. But it's the only reason I think it could happen is because one, Ronaldo, like, he's only got 2 options: Paris Saint-Germain and Man United. And I think Man United's more of a favourite for him to go to. It's a previous club, and he'll be welcomed in open arms. And literally, if he could easily play there on 2-3 years and bag the goals. Look at Zlatan. I know it's the Premier League, but I mean, he's just such a, I don't know, like a physically fit guy. Like, you could easily play him up top. And also you've got the other thing of, like, the amount of money, like the amount of revenue he would bring to the club would be ridiculous. The amount of shirt sales would literally break records. And then you've got the other thing where it's such a Glazers thing to do, because they did it with Tom Brady in the NFL with the Buccaneers. Like, he's 43 years old, and he is way past the average age for a quarterback. The quarterbacks don't move as much. Obviously, I don't know how much you know about NFL, but basically, it is very, very rare that someone the age of 43 is playing in the NFL. And Tom Brady's a legend, and he played for the England New Patriots, but they bought him to come to the Buccaneers, and they gave him a massive contract, and then they won the Super Bowl the next year with Tom Brady as quarterback. So they could do it, and the Glazers own the Buccaneers and they own Man United. So it's such a Glazers transfer and thing for them to do, and it would please the fans, and they could think if we sign Ronaldo, the fans will love us again, and they'll forget about the Super League. That could be their logic.
It won't work, but
no, but
do you think?
it's just
Okay,
they're American.
One question before I want to move on to the final bit. If Ronaldo does sign for Man United, do you think then Man United can win the Premier League?
I think they'll close the gap, but no, I think City will win it.
You think City will retain it next season?
Oh, I think it'll be fucking exciting because you've got to think, right, Liverpool, what's their chances of Van Dijk and Gomez going out again? So I think Liverpool will literally be challenging for the title next season, especially with the transfer window. Spend a bit of money. City almost guaranteed to transfer. Yeah, maybe. But City are almost guaranteed to challenge for the title. Let's think of it, right? So you've got Chelsea, with the amount of signings they're going to have, and Havertz playing very well. You could literally have City, Liverpool, United, and Chelsea all competing for the title next year. And that'll be a very, very I think the top four next year will run away and just be a massive point gap between fourth and fifth. I honestly think that next year. And then you obviously got your Arsenals and Spurs are just miles below like the rest in Chelsea, Liverpool, United. And
do you think how if Kane does leave Tottenham as well, how far do you think Tottenham will just drop down to like mid-table?
Oh, I think they'll fall off because like who are they going to sign as a star striker? Like who?
Apparently they were in February. Apparently they were in talks to sign Haaland.
Yeah, jog on, mate. Haaland is not signing.
Exactly, mate.
But like, then it's not like they can walk out and just go and get Mbappe. Like Daniel Levy's not going to go and do that, is he? He hasn't got the balls to do that. But,
yeah, of course not.
It is also very, very, very tough. Like they could do what Man United did with Ronaldo. Like Ronaldo wants to leave and then say, "Give us one more year, and then you can go next summer." So
I think that's what they did this season with Kane because I think he wanted to leave last season and Daniel Levy was like, "No, just give it one more year." Because obviously Mourinho was like
I don't know if it was that. He's been closer than ever to ever like. I don't think he was. I think he's been wanting to leave for years because he's known he's not going to get anything in this shit Spurs team. But I think now he's just like, he just pulled the plug. He's like, I'm getting older now, and I'm in my prime years, and I can't be playing my prime years in the fucking European Conference League. I need to be playing in the Champions League. So, I think it's just like, I love Spurs. I may come back here one day when I'm 36 years old, and getting old, and players are just an out-and-out striker like Zlatan. I'll come back here for a year or a loan year and just, say my farewell.
Do a Bale.
Yeah, do a Bale. So, well, Bale's not exactly 38, but I mean,
no.
What is going to happen with Bale now? Like, he's off. He's back to Real Madrid.
He's going back to Real Madrid. He's going back to Real Madrid.
He's not going to play. He's just going back for the money and just go back and play golf again.
Money.
So yeah, I don't know.
I don't blame him.
Spurs should
Real
sign him,
Madrid
but I
have
mean,
treated him arsely.
why would he stay? Exactly. I think if Spurs did get top fourth, I think he would have stayed. But now he's just like, what's the fucking point? So
just quickly as well before I want to get in the final segment, a bit of trivia. This is the top trivia of the day. Timo Werner had a goal disallowed for offside yet again today.
I didn't see that.
This is the 14th time that he's had a goal ruled out for offside. Or
a lot of them, all of them, if not most of them, have been pretty much his fault though for just being offside.
Oh yeah.
I think if he works on his offside like traps and that, and is staying with the last defender,
everything.
Just like staying with his last defender, and obviously not missing a goal from 2 yards. But
exactly.
I think he's still their most goal contributed player, isn't he? But
he's still like up.
He's not had the worst season in the world, but mate, you could have had some serious numbers this year if he actually got his head switched on. Yeah, I think next year he will pop off. I really do. I think him and Havertz will literally fly next year.
Agreed. Agreed.
And then you've obviously got your Mounts coming through. Kante is still in his prime years. So yeah, I think next year is going to be a hell of a season. Multiple teams challenging for the top. I still think towards the end of the season, Liverpool and City will run away with it. sub to any injuries. Obviously, we don't. Obviously, if there's injuries, which we've seen clearly this season, that can really affect your season. But we don't expect Van Dijk, Henderson, fucking Gomez, and all that to get injured again in the start of the season. But yes, it could happen to City. They happened obviously a couple of years ago in Laporte and that, and they didn't really sign a defender and to replace Company, and look what happened to them. But I think next year, unless there's any big injuries, like Kane obviously has ankle problems a lot, but I think he's going to get some serious numbers, and I do fancy him, and I think he will break Shearer's record for most goals in the Premier League. I think he needs just over 90 more, and he's 27, so I think he can easily break it.
Let me have a look and see how many he's got.
He's got. I can't remember how many he's got. I looked the other day, but I think
find out.
Can't be asked to look. But Kane will break Shearer's record unless he gets a major injury, and I think he will also break Rooney's record for England. So he's a top striker in my opinion. He's the best in the world. I know Lewis scores. Obviously, we didn't talk about Lewis breaking the record for Bundesliga, 41 goals. Break that record. Obviously, yes, it isn't the best league in the world, but it's still impressive. But
yeah, he's got 166 goals.
Yeah.
Let me check out what Alan Shearer has.
250 or something.
I think it is bang on 250. 260. So he's still just under 100 away.
Yeah. He's 27. Let's think. If he gets 25 goals, let's
say 25 goals. He needs
another. Think of it. He's got how many goals this year? 23, and he was in a defensive shit Spurs team. Like, imagine what if he's dream player wants to play with Kevin De Bruyne. Like, and he's going to play with him most likely next season.
I'd say he will get like.
I think he'll get 30
goals.
Easily next year.
If he's not injured.
I think he'll get Golden Boot for the next 4 years. I honestly think that. The goals he will score in that City team will be a joke. I think. What's the record for most goals in a Premier League season? Is it Salah's record?
Oh, thank you for bringing that out, Charlie. The most Premier League goals in the Premier League season is Mohamed Salah. 32 goals. Thank you very much.
32. I think that will be broken.
Bearing in mind he was a winner. Just saying.
Yes, that obviously does contribute, but I do think that honestly will be broken in the next few years if Kane goes to City, just because of the players we'll have behind him.
Mate, Salah's record ain't getting broken, bro. I'll tell you right.
I think it will. We'll see, won't we? But I do think Kane will break, not obviously, but I think he will break Shearer's record. They were saying about in the overlap, like Neville was saying, like you're on course, and I fancy you to beat it. So we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see. Depends if he joins them or not. We'll have to wait and see. Right, the final segment I want to do is basically end of season awards, pretty much. So I'm going to give you some titles, and you're going to have to tell me who or what deserves that title. Okay. So we'll start off with a normal one. Player of the season. This is just in the Premier League. It's just in the Premier League as well. Yeah. So.
I mean, obviously the PFO is given to De Bruyne, but I do think league position does contribute to that. I was just talking about, so obviously it is player of the year. Everyone knows that. But I do think if De Bruyne played for Spurs and Kane played for City, and obviously in this season, I think Kane would have won it. But because Spurs are 7th, I think that was the reason Kane didn't win it. But in my opinion, Kane, for being top goal scorer and assister, I believe he should have won.
So you think Kane is player of the season?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
My close contenders are De Bruyne and Diaz, but I do think it is Kane.
Fair enough. Not Gundogan, not Bruno Fernandes. Don't know why I said that.
Obviously, you
Jesse
can.
Lingard.
There's a case for all of them. Yeah, no, there's a case for all of them, but in my opinion, it's just Kane, just because of what he's done.
Fair enough. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I think I don't know who I would say. It's very difficult.
Salah.
Obviously biased, I would say Salah, but I don't know. He has been our best player of the season, but I don't think he deserves player of the season.
Next award.
Yeah. Young player of the season. I think this is a bit more. Well,
I would have thought Green would have had a better year than he had, but he's only really popped off towards the.
I think
obviously
I think
towards the end of the season he's got good.
I think there's an obvious one, and then there's also a not a dark horse, but like an not an outfield shout, because he's done very well as well. But do you want me to tell you my obvious one?
Go on then.
Foden.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the
gonna
obvious one.
say
The
Foden.
other one that I was thinking of though was actually Fofana, Wesley Fofana from Leicester,
Yeah.
because I think he's had a great season. I know. Obviously, it's
What
about
about Eze for
position and whatnot.
Palace?
I think he's good. I don't think he deserves it. I think
No,
he's
but
good.
yeah.
I think he has had his moments. I think,
Jesse Lingard.
yeah, he's still like 22, isn't he? 7
No,
years
but
ago.
Foden is obviously there's no
Yeah, I think
comparison.
Foden's the obvious one, but I think Fofana, Saka maybe, as well isn't a bad shout. How old's Mason Mount?
20, I think.
He's 22. I
22.
mean, he just scrapes it, but I don't know. I think, yeah,
Just
Foden.
edgy.
We'll just say Foden. Okay. Next up, manager of the year.
Well, we've
of
already
the
talked
season.
about this, haven't
Yeah, we
we?
kind of already talked about it.
But yeah,
I,
I would give it to David Moyes. But
yeah.
obviously you've got
Obviously, you got
obviously
Pep,
cases for Pep and
Jurgen.
Yeah, no, it's basically
No.
just Pep in it or David Moyes. But I think you just got to give it to David Moyes for the season he's had.
I think. I mean, Brendan Rodgers also has a decent shout.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I'd be happy with David Moyes. I think David Moyes deserves it. Signing of the season.
Oh, that
we
is
were-
got. Well, I've got two in my head.
I'm
Mine's
gonna-
Ruben Diaz and
I-
Thomas Tuchel.
Yes, agreed. Definitely agreed. I will say this as well. Next week we will do a tier list of all the major transfers from the season and how well we think they did over the course of the season. We were meant to do that this week, but we haven't had enough time. Don't worry about it. But yeah, agreed. Diaz and Souček have been two exceptional signings. I think also, if we're counting loans, I think Jesse Lingard, and I think also Martinez, the Aston Villa goalkeeper. I think he's done very well. I think he's got like the second most clean sheets in the league.
Yeah, something like that.
So I think he's not a bad shining. But no, agreed. If you had to pick one, Diaz or Souček,
Diaz.
I'll go Souček.
Okay.
Okay, here's a different one. Worst signing of the season.
Worst signing of the season. It's been awful. There's probably some really obvious one that I can't think of.
I don't think it is obvious because I think you've forgotten about. Because the one I've got this on One Football, and the person that they've said, I think you forget that they played they've played for this club.
Go on then, just say it.
Rian Brewster.
Oh
Sheffield
yeah.
United. Exactly. See, as much as I hate to admit it, yeah, he's had an awful season. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Rian.
Well,
Hopefully-
we'll go.
hopefully-
Then.
hopefully-
Obviously, he's a kid, isn't he? But
Yeah, I know he's very young. He's in the Championship. I hope you boss it. You bossed it for Swansea last season when you were on loan there. I hope you boss it in the Championship again, and I hope you come back up. So yeah. Another one was Van de Beek, but I don't think you can really blame him when he hasn't actually been playing.
I think I want to see him get more game time next year. Otherwise, I'll just want him to leave United because he deserves more.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just been a pointless signing. I think Man United, that's like a signing that they didn't really need to make. If they went for a defensive midfielder, then fine, fair enough. But Van der Beek ain't that. Goal of the season.
That's annoying. They announced goal of the season, didn't they? Had they? No, did they?
I don't think so.
Well, obviously
Second
Cavani's one the other day was incredible, but
Was it offside?
well, Bruno said he didn't touch it, and obviously
So
it
then it's
depended on
offside.
that,
So then it's offside. If he didn't touch it, it's
Yeah,
offside.
but officially it hasn't been. Officially, it's not though, is it? So
Well,
what
it's
can you
offside.
do?
So then technically Fulham sort of actually won that game, right? Okay, Fulham were robbed. Okay, good to know. good to know. Good to know. The meaning that we could have actually potentially gone over. Actually, no, we couldn't have. It doesn't matter. But yeah, some good shouts. Lamella against Arsenal, the Rabona. You got Lanzini's against Tottenham early on with the 3-3 draw against Tottenham.
That was incredible goal.
I think they've also said Haller versus Crystal Palace. I think that was his overhead kick or something like that. Or was it a scissor kick? I can't really remember.
Yeah.
I would give it to Lamela. My eyes. I think just a
Yeah,
Rabona goal.
I just think because that's just for the fact that did it go through? Was it that one? It went through like three people's legs.
I don't think it went through three people's legs. I think it went through one, but it was just a great finish.
Incredible.
It was just a great finish for Rabona. Like it was ridiculous. Shock of the season.
Shock in
So,
what way?
Well, it could be a result. It could be like a transfer they thought was going to be sick.
A shock of the season. I'll go Aston Villa 7-2 Liverpool.
Right. Okay. Cheers, John.
You asked it.
I didn't ask. No, I didn't ask for it. You asked
me for the shock of the season, and I gave you it.
It's not fair. All I'm saying is, I'm going to do Frank Lampard right now. All I'm saying is, if those goals that were deflected didn't go in,
What I'm saying is, if Superman was my goalie, then they wouldn't have happened.
And we actually got given the penalty. We're still saying it's 4-3 Aston Villa, so that means fuck
well,
off.
I was saying if there was a legit TARDIS, then it would have just gone back.
I wish there was. break all their legs. That's what I'd have done. Yeah, I'd probably have to agree. I remember being at work and I just looked at my phone and I was like 5-2. What's going on?
Refresh.
I was like 5-2. What's going on? And literally like 10 seconds later, after I saw it, I saw 6-2. I'm like
the BBC Sport algorithms fucking up here. No.
Most improved player.
Most improved player. Ooh, Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Really? Do you think so?
Well, I think he dropped off towards the end of the season, but it's annoying because like he was incredible along with James Rodriguez, but James Rodriguez didn't really play, did he? 'Cause he was injured, but towards the season. But he was a big part of why they dropped off. But
they've given it to John Stones.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
But in my eyes,
he's not really improved because he was good and then he went shit and then he got good again.
I think it's also the fact that he had Ruben Dias. I think that's also helped him a bit.
Yeah, I think it's just you can have the best like
they have
it's like Varane. Remember when he didn't have Ramos? He was absolutely awful.
Exactly.
So it's just a centre back. A partnership makes a great centre back. Yeah. Okay, I'll give it to Stones or Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to a rival. I'm gonna give it to Luke Shaw.
Thing is, like when I hear him improved player, he's had a very good season, but he's also been good before. But he's never had a better season than obviously this season. Don't get me wrong, but I think just because Dominic Calvert-Lewin has never really been noticed as a good player before.
I think last season he was fine. I think he's improved a bit, but I don't think he's improved a lot. Not saying that in terms of like I still think he's bad. I think he's good. I think he's still good. And I thought he was good last season. I just think he's a bit better this season. But I don't think he's improved massively. Unlike I think Luke Shaw has or John Stones has, for example. What about Jesse Lingard? Could you say that? Bearing in mind he only got one goal last season.
He's not most improved though, is he? Because he's had very good previous seasons with good stats. So it's more of just like he's improved from his shit form rather than like. It depends on how you take the award, doesn't it?
Well, I think it's just in terms of this. We at the beginning of the season we thought this player was okay or wasn't going to be great, and at the end of the season, he's done very well. That's basically what it is. Yeah,
but I would give it to. It depends on how you take it, but yeah, there's multiple candidates, but yeah, I would agree with Luke Shaw.
Okay, fine. And the last one, game of the season.
Oh, I need to think.
I swear to God, if you fucking say 7-2 again, I swear to fucking God.
Well, that was in the 9. No, Jeff. It's a tough one. But
they've given it to. They've said Liverpool 4, Leeds 3. I mean, I did enjoy that game. I remember watching it when walking home from work, and I thought it was a very entertaining game. You could argue Tottenham versus West Ham. I think
Spurs West Ham, was a good game. That was a great game to watch, especially with Lanzini's like equaliser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else. It's not because towards the beginning there was a load of like big results, wasn't there? Like or not big results, but like a lot of goals scored. You know.
Yeah, a lot of high scoring games and stuff.
Where actually, you know what? Can we talk about West Brom Chelsea? Can we actually talk about that? Why is that not a shock of the season? Why is Aston Villa Liverpool shock of the season when Aston
Well,
West
yeah,
Brom
okay,
beat them
yeah.
5-2?
But it just came to my head first. You know what I'm saying? Like it is. You know,
Yeah, 'cause
when you
you're-
think
'Cause
7-2, you're not going to forget
twat.
it.
Because you're a twat,
It's
Charlie. That's right.
because I'm absolutely memorable. Because I'm not embarrassed.
Because you know I'm a Liverpool fan. That's what you're doing, mate. I don't care. We're in top 3, mate. I don't go.
Well, there's that, and there's also the fact it was 7 goals you let in, which is pretty embarrassing against a promoted side. But
What do you mean?
yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, well,
No.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Aston Villa. I was like, wait, what? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's been some very good games this season, and I think we just enjoy them as much as we can.
Exactly.
All I'm saying is the 0-0 Man City game was definitely not it. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep during that.
Been a lot of them.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all we've got time for this week's episode. It's a bit of a shorter one because we don't have much time. But yeah, Liverpool.
Just an end of season reaction. Obviously, we still need to see if Juve will make it.
Yeah, obviously. I wanted to do it after the results are done because it's relevant and whatnot. And I felt like if we did it yesterday, like we were meant to, but we kind of forgot to do it anyway. But I felt like it wouldn't have made any sense to just not do it when we've got this big thing happening the next day. But anyway, also Newcastle finished 12th. Was that a good finish?
Steve Bruce doing wonders.
They're getting Champions League next season, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have time for today anyway, ladies and gentlemen. If you did enjoy, leave a like on the video, subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you know when the next episode goes
You better.
live. Liverpool are going to win the Champions League next season and we're going to sign Mbappe.
What a load of bollocks.
Anyway, I've been Joe.
I've been Charlie.
And we will see you guys in the next episode. Take care, everyone.
In a bit.